So this is part 3 of what I previously called how to make an interesting place. Now I've decided now that we're going to call this the cloister pergola. I feel that the name suits it quite well, and that's what I've decided I'm going to call it. Now it is not 100% finished yet because it needs some finials on there, so we've got finials to finish up there, 2 more. And then we can call that bit finished. But as a whole, it's still got little bits and bobs I've got to do to it. So we've got a bit of planting to sort out and rearrange, because over time, this is going to be a very shady area. This bit in particular will be very shady. So we shall need to redress what we've got going on, partly redress, because I've already got in here stuff that's going to suit the shady aspect. This Pavoskia is not likely to, so that might have to be reassessed as we go along. It may still get enough sun because, remember, it's not got a lid on this bit. So this is still clear. So we might just get away with it, but we should see. So one nice thing that I discovered once I put it here, and I'm not quite sure if I mentioned it on the last video, is that there's going to be a seat back here. So I'm going to sit down on it now and show you exactly the view I'm going to get. And this is the view we shall get in here, and it'll make you feel dead enclosed when you're in here. Especially once all the roses and all the climbers and whatever else it is that I put up start climbing across here. I have already started that process. There's a rose there. There's a rose on the back section. And then there's a third rose here, which is flowering again. So that's quite nice. And it's a bit of a climber. And then what we've got here is we've planted towards the back of it. Now, I'm going to take you around there in a minute and show you just what I'm going to be doing. So you've got to remember when you built something like this that you've got, now I've created a dead end or a blocker to that back end, that now we've got 2 sides. So one side is going to be mainly used for seating and just sitting there and relaxing. It'll have possibly a proper bench in the back. So the bench will sit along there all the way at the back. And that'll give you a feeling of enclosure, hence the cloister pergola. I've yet to put down the hardcore, which is now on order. So once that's done, I shall do another video and show you that one. But it's going to have like an hardcore base. I shall put some landscape fabric down first, and then we shall put down some hardcore and then some pebbles to finish that flooring area. So, as I said before, one of the ideas was to sort of guide the public or guide people who want to come and visit me down this path here, and that's the idea. And it brings you onto this path here, which I've said before is for maintenance. And I'll show you it again. It runs all the way up there, and it's a maintenance path. But I'm now going to use it as a walkway. So you'll come down here, you walk down here, and then you get these nice fresh views. And some of these views are really nice. It sometimes catches me how nice it actually is from down here. And then you get to view things like this lovely Corsaderia, which is Patagonia, a stunner, and other things. And I've now started moving things around. So we've moved an Elianthus down here, and that's Cape Nut-Star. And I've had a jiggle around of a few other things. I've put another Miscanthus here, because remember now we've got a whole new view. So we've had to start moving things around. So this is really the Carl Forster border. And to that end, I'm going to remove this one because it's never done really well. It's a good Miscanthus, but it should be at least 4 foot higher than that. And it's been in there 2 years now. So it's had its chance. It's not doing well. It's not very happy. So we'll do something about that. We'll move it. So what I was going to say was you'll come round to this section here, and then we've got a whole new section to enjoy. So one of the good things about changing things is we get a chance to rejig things around and create new borders. So I'm going to give it a bit more thought. I've already started doing some rejigging, as I just mentioned, and I've put this Eupatorium in, which is called Gateway. If you can come across this one, I'll get it because it has this lovely scent. and it is a real nice one. And then I've moved, as I said before, I was going to move the Monada, which I've now done, and that's called Westacre Purple, one of the best in my opinion now. Don't suffer no diseases, no rust, nothing. Nothing affects that one. It's very sturdy. Okay, it's gone past its best now, but the idea of having it there is that so when we're sat inside, we get the scent from it, which is nice. I'm toying with putting this other Rudbeckia in here. 3 pots there at the moment. These are just from my own splits. This is Demii, but it's a lovely golden yellow colour. And at the moment, it's looking superb. And the good thing about that is we tie in to the ones that are up there. You can see in the background there. So we get this continuation. And that's what I'm trying to look for. I'm trying to look for continuation in the planting scheme so that it doesn't look too disjointed. Now, one of the best grasses at the moment I've got, and I did do a YouTube on this, if you want to search through my favourite miscanthus, you'll see this one on. It's now 7.5, possibly 8 foot tall now, that one, and the colours on it are just amazing. It's at a really nice phase, and when we sat inside the house, we can see it from in the front room, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So that's to the side of this cloister pergola, and it looks really nice. Now, I'm not decided on the shape at the back because, again, this is quite exciting. The rings that you can see here, I'm not 100% fully committed to putting these on here. If I was to do it, I mean, they do look quite nice as they sit there, but if I was going to do it, these were off something totally different. I would remove those spikes off it. I would cut all the bars within the area on each one, which would almost be creating windows through, which would be nice, but I'm not sure yet, so we're going to give that a little bit more thought, a little bit more time, and see what happens, because things change as we go along all the time, so I'll never say never, but not yet. We'll just give that a bit longer. Now, the other thing that this is what it's caused is it's caused me to rethink this area as well, because when you make changes, that's what it does. It makes you rethink, redesign, and one idea sparks another one. And to that end, we've decided that we're going to do something with that bay window. We're going to actually put a door in it. And then in the morning, you'll be able to walk out that doorway there and either sit up there where the seats are up the back there, or I'm toying now at the minute with putting a floating deck in this area. So it'll be level with that wall top where those grey bricks are. You can see it'll come out. And where you see the 4 white stakes, that's going to be the size of it. So it'll be somewhere else fresh to sit. So I've already moved all the plants out of here, rejigged them, moved them around. They've all been reassessed, shall we say, and put into areas where they'll suit. And we've moved them all over, split some as well. Now's a good time. We're in September. It's a fantastic time to be splitting your plants, because we've got the September rains that we always get in September. And it's a good time to lift and separate and split and put back in. It's a great time. So, yeah, so we're going to see what happens and what develops next, because once I've put this gravel down, which will be beginning of next week, then that's pretty much that area done and finished, apart from the finials. It'll be pretty much done, and I shall just reassess the planting. I'm quite happy with what I've got going on at the moment. I've got miscanthus in there at the moment as well, those little small miscanthus, and they'll not get much bigger than that. And I'm quite happy with them. I'm quite happy with the look. The Elianthus is working for me. I quite like that. It's a bit quirky to put it in there, but it's working for me. But we're going to have to see what happens over time when the climbers start climbing all over it. And that might look a bit like it's on its own. That's my euphorbia, and that's Malachi. And it will eventually look very similar to this, only bigger and better and bluer. It's only a cutting, last year's cutting. I've put it in now, so it will start to bush up and get bigger and mature. So that's going to look really good there. I'm not putting too much in it. I'm going to leave it for the moment because I'm not 100% committed to what planting I want in here. And I'm not 100% committed to what sort of shape I'm going to make this at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, what else was I going to say? So So that's pretty much it, really. I've shown you what I've been doing. So if you look back on the other two, you'll see the progress, how I've actually gone about creating this thing. And I can't really film it as I do it because I'm on my own a lot of the time. And to be quite honest, my girlfriend don't want to get involved with it. She just likes me to get on with it, and she'll just enjoy what I create. But this is the sort of views we're getting, so I'm really, really happy with that, and I get to view it from inside the house as well, so it's well placed, and it's working a lot better for me now because I got a bit annoyed that I could actually walk straight through it without any hindrance, and that's a big no-no as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want to be able to see the whole garden in one go. And I could, but once these plants start growing, things start maturing, you're not going to see much. You're going to have to walk into there, sit in there, enjoy it, come back out, and as I said before, walk round and view it from the other side. So it's creating interest, it's creating a journey. And it's a talking point. It's easy to do. The only thing that will stop a lot of people, really, is the money. Now, it's my hobby, so I do spend quite a bit of money on this. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this. I don't spend an arm and a leg on it, and I've certainly saved a lot of money by doing it myself. And often you can create something similar to this, okay, on a cheaper scale if you must, but there's nothing really stopping you other than your own sort of attitude towards it, really. And obviously money is a big factor in that, and I appreciate that, but there's nothing to say that you too cannot create something similar to this. I love the creation process. I love being creative. I've always been creative, and I shall continue to be creative in this garden. That'll be my next project down there. That'll be a wildlife pond. So in the coming months, I'll show you how I'm going to carry on that. I've already posted up the first section of that, but that'll be another project for the future. So there we go. Hopefully you like that. If there's any questions, fire them along to me. I've also got an Instagram account called agardenersjourney.1, which I post a lot of stills on there. So if you look on my board there, you'll see different bits and bobs. But there you go. So that's part 3 of the cloister pergola, as we're calling it now. And there's likely to be one more video of this to show you the final and finished result. I'll talk to you later. Ta-da!